was so upset.
This is fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Fair use.
No copyright infringement intended.
It's relevant to the news. What's going on in our country right now? If he comes out to this in Milwaukee, it's gonna be crazy. That's stupid.
God.
All right, beer planners.
What's the fate? My guy.
So as y'all can hear, as I mistakenly pressed pause. But anyway, as y'all can hear, you already know what the I'm talking about on the recording. Y'all already know what the fuck we here for. Beer planners, what's up? Thank you for being here for another episode of the Beer Plans Podcast.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh man, even y'all reactions to the beginning of the pod is muted. I mean, we know why Mr. Browns is muted. You already over there, Mr. Brown? You need a morning after?
No, I'm good.
The drink. If
the morning after drink, yes. Not a morning after pill.
I mean, who knows how his night ended? He might have had to stop at CVS on the way here.
Nah, it ain't like that.
and record her taking it. But anyway, what's good? What's up with you, Mr. Brown? How's your past couple of weeks been? Any standout stuff?
No, not really. Life's been lifing, but we still here in the building. Enjoying my.
We're still here in the building.
Yeah, just
pay the rent.
Shit, that might be the title of the pod. We
still
here in the
building.
50 Trump still here in the building.
No, we gotta get that 50 billion cent. We really gotta get that in a meme or something.
Yo,
y'all niggas want to talk about the only shooting I care about is the shooting from the hot toy girl's mouth to that microphone when she said spit on that shit.
You got a hot tool.
Yo, I can't. This girl. Oh my god, yo, she was hot until yesterday. Like she was like on podcasts and shit. Why are you looking like that?
No.
Because of the spit thing.
No, it's funny, but
You know what? Side note: 50 billion cent might work. That's $500 million.
I told you.
But anyway,
I did that. I know my jokes.
All right.
I know my jokes, sir.
Shout out to Mount Zion.
Yeah, I know my math, sir.
Mount Zion alumni in the building.
Yeah. But
So he said, "Oh yeah, cool."
Yeah. But yo, come on in. We gonna keep this going. Fuck it.
All right. What Eminem say? If I fumble a verse, keep going.
That's right. So yeah. And this is DJ V-Loss. I've been gone a minute and now I'm back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you did take some PTO.
Well,
How was your PTO?
Well, when you're on tour, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Alright.
You gotta, you got certain obligations to fill. Not to say that this isn't a very high priority obligation, but you gotta keep the brain going.
So when you fulfill your obligations, your clientele, do the ladies pay you in Cash App or in cash? Like how does that work?
Well, I take all forms of payment, even if it's just adding a friend to the situation. Like that's a form of payment as well. What's wrong with you, man? You try to get arrested. But I mean, summer's been good for me. How about you?
Oh man, I've been good, man. I've been, as I'm taking notes on the pod episode.
Yeah.
But
very professional. I think DJ Envy be doing that on the Breakfast Club.
Envy be sleep on the Breakfast Club. That nigga got so much money. But anyway,
I'm coming to fuss already.
What happened to his case? Did his case get thrown out?
Everyone forgot because if you give it time, everyone will forget. And apparently, if you have an assassination attempt, everyone will forget as well. But anyway, I've been great, man. Look, I've been chilling and just trying to enjoy life. Everyone's complaining about how hot it is. Maybe it's because I have air conditioning everywhere I go. Yeah. I love the warm weather.
I agree.
I love to eat.
I don't understand what the problem is. I really don't.
Yeah.
We bitch about winter, and then when summer comes, we bitch again.
I enjoy it a lot. I've actually made a switch. Because pre-40.
You're a woman now
for health purposes.
You're a woman now.
That's why I caught myself and didn't say transition.
Oh, okay.
Because that's been co-opted. But I made a switch to. I've been drinking.
I don't even think that's the right word.
So I've been drinking more light and tequila, actually.
That's your life change.
Yeah, no, because it's lower calories. It's
Yeah.
it's a little healthier. Like especially the tequila. Not, I mean, air quotes healthier.
Right.
But when
Well, they also say heroin's more healthy for your liver, so
that's not what they say.
that is
But
what they say.
but when my man Flash is around, of course, I'll definitely grab me some dark. Speaking of Flash, how you been, man?
Chilling. Yo,
I don't even want to talk.
he lost his mad. We had a debate about his mentor, but it's all good. But I'm chilling. Life is
Tommy,
good.
the Green Ranger from Power Rangers. R.I.P. by the way.
Yo, yeah, right. And the greatest thing ever, I don't know if any of y'all clicked that link that I sent, but the greatest thing ever was when I had to do work on a Saturday morning. And I literally typed into YouTube, Fox Kids Saturday morning lineup. And they had a 12-hour block.
Man,
And not only that, they had timestamps, so I skipped to like shows I wanted to watch. Like I watched X-Men, I watched Eat the Cat, I watched Power Rangers. Of course, the one Power Rangers episode I watched last week was when they had to go to the North Pole. And of course, the North Pole fucks up your morphing powers, so they didn't morph at all.
Because of course,
Yeah,
it's
so
the
they
pole,
didn't
it's
morph
the
at
way.
all, so I was fucking pissed. Can you imagine watching that on a Saturday morning? You're like, shit, I can't wait to watch Power Rangers. These motherfuckers don't even morph.
Although I can't lie, if I was under Zordon's employ and I could teleport, I would just like talk, man, baby. I get that you've been flued out, but have you been telling to the Amalfi Coast?
Have you been telling that before?
I would have been the first Power Ranger to get put on right up because I'd have been abusing my powers to get pussy. But yeah. So listen, man, America.
Wait, we asked about how Flash is doing.
He said he was chilling, saving the world, light shit like he usually do.
Yeah, and by the way, apologies to the audience if I sound like crazy. I'm going off like 2 hours of sleep, so if I sound wild, sir, that's wild.
He's also trying to, like many people, process the election results from last night.
Oh, facts.
How Trump has apparently become our next president of the United States. But we'll get into that in a second. Let's have some fun for another 5 minutes before we serious this out.
Yeah, please. Well, so like I said, for the summer, the love of my life has been the hot toy girl. That's been the greatest thing that we've seen in so long.
Yo, speaking of
It's so great.
Speaking of love of my life, there's Topanga.
Yeah.
This was like a while ago too, so I'm holding on to this like Flash holding on to the Tank. I can't wait. I want to introduce Flash to Tank one day. But anyway, Topanga posted. I'm
taking Tank's side.
I'm sorry,
That's fine. You.
Danielle Official.
Yeah.
Posted on Instagram. This is a while ago. That she, like when she met J. Cole.
Yeah.
And Cole hugged her, and I felt the way. Like I felt like our entire generation was like, "Get off my girlfriend!"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, who was you?" Like that was the crazy part about it. Like,
No, did he say that?
no, he didn't say it. His demeanor.
Yeah, his look,
Same though.
like Cole, you not that woke, my nigga.
Yeah, right.
Relax, B. But
and then like it's really sexy to me that she's so gushing over J. Cole. Like J. Cole to me is not like one of those like rappers that like white girls though. I can't see white girls liking J. Cole unless you like in it. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you fuck with hip hop.
Nah, I can definitely see that. I 1000% see white girls fucking with Cole.
Me too.
Kendrick too. No pun intended. Kendrick too. Like I definitely see white girls fucking with them. Really, all of the big four. Because I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas say. Sean's still one of the top ones. He just healed, and no one wanted to hear that heal shit in the moment when beef was going on.
Yo, when that Precision song came out, I love that Precision song, yo. But it just came out at the wrong time.
That Ayukin bar?
Yo,
absolutely.
Yo,
speaking to our generation.
It came out at the
He put out the wrong. Well, yeah, the wrong time.
Exact wrong time, yo. Exact wrong time. Yo, the fact that I saw the beef because you were talking about earlier on Flash.
Which one?
That you were talking about that your mom, that our mom saw knows about the beef or whatever. Yeah. It just occurred to me. I was at work when this first went down, or maybe like when it started to simmer down a little bit. It was on Good Morning America.
It was.
It was
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
It was worldwide news.
That's crazy, yo. It's insane.
Yeah, like I saw something like where Tom Hanks was like asking his son about like what's going on here. 'Cause-
Of course, Chet Hanks knows what's going
Yo,
on.
Right,
You know, Hollywood hates that dude, yo. They hate
Who,
that.
Chet Hanks?
Yeah, they hate
Why?
that nigga, yo. Because he's too much, like he's too much of a wigger, and it's like
Wait.
dead ass serious.
So we hate Chet Hanks,
Today
but
on
we
breakfast,
still.
me and breakfast, beer plans get canceled.
So
I just saying that's why they hate him.
Time out. So we hate Chet Hanks because he's too much of a quote unquote wigger,
Right.
but we still rock with Mark Wahlberg, and I love Mark Wahlberg.
But
He's the OG
do I have to
wigger.
argue with all of y'all today? Is this the deal? Yo, no, because Mark Wahlberg is about that life, yo.
Right, but what I'm saying is Rich Kid. I'm not talking about the boss. I'm just talking about like being of whatever culture you have an affinity for and all of that stuff. Like I think this is a wild comparison, but I think Chet Hanks is just a white boy that has an appreciation for a lot of things in black culture, be it hip hop, be it the women, or whatever the situation is.
Does he date black women?
yeah,
I think he
Oh,
be
does
fucking
he
white
really?
most.
chicks.
I mean,
But
most.
that's like the dude. That's like the white dude Rory from Rory and Maul podcast. Like that dude is of the like the nigga pledged Kappa. Like he
You can't get more.
like I mean,
Yo, it don't get more.
but the thing that I respect about dude is like he has like he seems to have like such an appreciation for the culture
Yeah.
that he's also very protective of it. Like
Yeah.
he's appreciative of it.
It's about Rory, right? Not
Rory,
Chet
not
Hanks.
Chet Hanks. I don't know shit about Chet Hanks. That's why I was like, this is a wild comparison. But at the same time, I do think that like I don't want us to stumble into another topic because we gotta talk about the
Can I
serious
just say
shit.
one thing real quick with that? I feel like, and I had no proof, no theory, no science to back this up, but I do feel like interracial dating will be the key to like healing racism in the country.
Oh, what?
Or sparking it.
You know what's spark?
Or sparking it more.
Dr. Umar Johnson is going to give you 500 lashes for that.
I don't know if I agree with that,
But
brother.
like I feel, the reason my logic behind
But
it.
I get what you're saying.
Well, hear me out real quick.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because I was listening to a Breakfast Club, right? And they had when the George Floyd protests happened, and they had all the white kids pretty much like beating up police and like wilding out, and they had them all marching. And they were like, "Why is there so many white people out here marching?" There's almost like, as much as like black people that were marching. And when they did an interview, they had people call up and say, "Look, you know, why were you guys out there?" Almost unanimously, it was people saying, "I have a black husband, a black wife, a black son, a black daughter." So like they felt that personal stake in it. So when it came time to this fighting discrimination, they got active.
That's a good
So
point.
I feel
actually.
like that could be a real big part of ending racism is letting people date who they want to date and see what they want to see.
So what you're saying is that not the four of us, the three of us, but we'll take your weight. Should go fuck white girls.
No problem.
In the name of uniting.
Aye, Captain.
That's what I heard. Did I hear correctly?
Hey, you can't, but my disclaimer is I'm not responsible for the backlash that comes along with that situation. I'm not responsible for the backlash.
Great oral sex.
Don't worry. Don't
Great
worry.
oral sex. Is that what you're talking about?
Don't worry, Dr. Umar. He'll take our lashes for us.
He
5,000.
But you know what?
Shout out to DJ Melly. She's not here, and I'm glad she's not here to hear
Oh,
this
yeah,
bullshit.
Shit, flip this table over like, what you talking about?
Right. She definitely would have punched Flash in the throat. All right. It's been 13 minutes of denial. I guess we should get into
We
it.
really gotta do this. Do we really have to do
Yeah,
this?
I think we do gotta at least touch on it. It is
God.
too important. So for those that was living under a rock with the internet logged off, lucky you, because on Saturday there was an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump at a rally in wherever the fuck Pennsylvania. Sorry, I don't remember the city.
A place he'll never go back again if he wasn't campaigning.
See, you about to take us to a whole nother topic. I'm gonna keep going though, because that's a whole nother topic. So what is being reported as of right now, this could be completely different when this episode drops, is the dude shot about 3 to 4 rounds, one of which pierced his ear. Trump grabbed his ear. The Secret Service jumped over the top of him. From the audio that I could hear, they were on their comms the entire time. Maybe 5 seconds or so after those first 3 shots, you hear about 4 to 6 return shots. that is currently anyway being reported as the Secret Service returning shots in kind to the attempted assassin. From there, they once they got the all clear that the shooter had been neutralized, they took Trump out to safety, and here we are, a day after the election we didn't know that we were going to have on Saturday, forced to contend with it. So I guess before we get into any real specifics, what are y'all knee-jerk reactions and thoughts? Well, yeah, we'll do that first, and then I'll share the weird one that I saw all on the interwebs on Saturday.
Y'all go first.
My question was, where was Lee Harvey Oswald when we needed him?
Damn.
God damn it!
I don't care, yo.
I was eating my chicken. Now I gotta put an edit point.
Exactly.
For fuck's sake, yo. Like, y'all already know how I feel. Fuck that nigga all the way, yo.
All right. Wait, so from minute 14:28 to minute 16:04, this is gonna be bleeped out.
You
about to get some knots in your door.
But what are we supposed to say, yo? We
What
supposed to
is
say
black sedan with tinted windows doing outside my
Right.
house?
Only one.
Exactly.
So
what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to say that I'm happy that this guy survived his assassination? Is that what I'm supposed to say? Is that what y'all want me to say?
I mean, you can speak how you feel, bro. Like,
Apparently not. Apparently, this is like the former Twitter. I can't say.
I will say that if you mad at Taylor Swift fans,
Elon Musk. What'd you say, B?
I will say if you think that Taylor Swift fans are bad, you should see Trump supporters.
I don't care, yo. They're
They're the kings of
and
crap.
they're idiots too.
they might be about the same.
I don't know. I think they're king crap.
Yo, top 3 craziest fan bases might be in no particular order: Taylor Swift fans, Trump supporters, and K-Dot fans.
No, don't do that.
Carry on.
No.
We have real news to talk about. We'll talk
So you
about
gonna
that
skip
another
Beyonce
day.
and Nicki Minaj? Come on.
That's how crazy those motherfuckers are. I couldn't
I wouldn't put the K-Dot fans over
I
Nicki and
couldn't
B.
I couldn't even
That's
mention the
cat.
barbs or the bees.
That's
But I'm also scared of the barbs and the bees. So, hey, shout out to Nicki and Beyonce.
Attaboy.
Now the real talk comes out.
Attaboy.
But yeah.
But seriously, what am I supposed to say? Are we supposed to be for those who are not Trump support? Are we supposed to be like, we heard on this motherfucker on the debate? Well, we ain't even gonna talk about the debate. Like, that was just crazy. But he said, what's it called? Project 2025? Is that what it's called? He's telling these motherfuckers like, look, and not on top of that, the Supreme Court is giving this guy amnesty.
Point of information: he didn't mention anything about Project 20.
Yeah, his is gonna be Agenda 47 or whatever it is. But to be fair, Trump lies a lot. So by him
That's
saying
true,
he's
too.
not going to do
He does.
anything with it, I wouldn't be surprised if he still.
Of course, it's gonna do
so.
something. You basically so the Supreme Court has basically said. I don't even know if this is just a rule for him, or if it's a rule for all
It's for every
presidents.
president.
It's for all
Every
presidents.
president.
So okay, so he can say.
including the current sitting one.
So he can say. So
I'm just gonna leave that there. Keep going.
I wasn't going to say it out loud.
We all have good jobs we want to maintain.
And you know what?
He said I was like immunity.
And you know what?
I plan to go to an island in the first week of August. That island does not include Guantanamo Bay.
And he-
Carry on.
And he
What
wanted
I say about the phone? Like, hold on, immunity? Say less.
Just
Say
leave it.
less.
and look,
Leave it on the
he
table.
would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those kids in that mangy pile.
I think my knee-jerk reaction is, to me, I guess as Americans we still like to pretend that like, all right, we don't want it to get to the violent shit, right? Of course, there's been mad political violence over the last 6, 8, 10 years, right? There's been, I mean,
We've
and
been
that's,
country.
I'm about to say, and that's if you don't want to look at the totality of the country. We literally had, was Andrew Jackson a sitting president when he was in that duel?
I don't know.
Or did,
I don't think so. I thought he was just a.
okay,
just a
so
general.
but we've had former presidents engage in duels that they lost. We've had, but like, so I get that there's always been president, but what you don't want to see is assassination attempts and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, humans are humans. So I personally don't wish death upon anyone, and I also think that Saturday likely irreversibly altered the tenor of this race. So we can take this piece by piece. Here's what I thought in my brain was we could talk about knee-jerk reactions and the details that have been out so far. Then we can get into some of the weird conspiracy theory shit if y'all even care about that. That's been online. And then we could talk about what we think the ramifications might look like going forward for America and the current presidential race.
So before I say my piece, Mr. Brown, what you think about it?
About the shooting, I guess, right? So, like, well, when the news first started happening, like, initially I just felt like a weird sense of. Initially, my first thoughts were almost a little bit. And my first thought was like a little bit like what Vilas was saying, and then and certain people have echoed those kind of statements, like you see that online, like damn they missed, or that kind of shit. So, but then I had to walk it back a little bit. I'm like, damn, this is really where I went. So but then once I process it a little bit, so I guess I'm all over the place with it, to be honest with you. I'll say that. Like, part of me is like. Part of me is like, because, some people initially was thinking this was staged, and I still haven't 100% let go of that necessarily. But, I think on a human level, yes, I'll say this, on a human level, like, obviously, like, I generally don't like to wish that kind of stuff on people, no matter how repugnant I find them. So, because I've had to check myself because
I know.
what I'm saying? Yeah,
I like that word.
Yeah. So, but you know what I'm saying? Because it almost
I challenge you to a repugnant swine.
So but when I thought
You slap him with the glove.
That's right.
But you know what I'm saying? But initially I had the thoughts I've had about George Zimmerman. It kind of took me there a little bit in terms of like, damn. Yeah. But I had to walk it back a little bit, and I'm like, all right, look, on it, I had to check myself. I'm like, damn, this is really. I shouldn't feel this way about a human, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So I think now I'm like I'm all over the place with it. I'm like, I am sad that and apparently if what's being reported is true, isn't there? I guess allegedly there's someone did allegedly pass from this. Somebody got actually killed.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so, innocent bystander.
And
so,
two other he was shot in the head actually. And
yeah,
two others were critically injured.
Yeah, so I think I have because so my thought is like obviously so innocent people lost lives in this scenario, and that's horrible. It just makes me feel horrible a lot, like in terms of just like the way this fucking country is.
Can I ask?
And you know what I'm saying, like we'll get more into it. I guess when we get to like my overall thoughts about what this will mean, but like it just it just really saddens me that like this is how divisive we are now.
So can I ask a question? Is this just what people have been driven to now? Because now it's like it truly is like we're in a very bad movie. Like when the Supreme Court gives you amnesty for insurrection, like is it that people are just cracking because now you're showing us to our face that there are certain people that are just above the law. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how you feel about it. If you don't pay your speeding ticket, you will be taken to jail. This guy has done every single possible thing he can to attack our democracy. And in that particular setting, he will see no consequence for it because you literally made up a rule that specifically for him that because I don't even understand how I was under.
I mean, I think these are clearly unprecedented times here we are now, because I think when the founding fathers and when all this shit started, I guess in America, right? I don't think they ever thought it would get to this kind of point where like a sitting president would have like criminal charges. And
well, we also don't know what the shooter's motives were. We don't. It was the Supreme Court. Who knows? We don't know. Like, and so to that point, you probably just need time to investigate. You may never know.
We won't.
I just so that's just point of information. Flash, what are your thoughts?
So a couple things. I was with y'all with the we don't wish death on anybody, but then Mr. Brown said George Zimmerman, and I'm like, no, I wish death on him. He can die. I would not.
Yep.
I saw a post that was like, so y'all shooting at Trump, but y'all letting George Zimmerman order.
No, right, facts.
Order food that, and they gave like an address. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, that man could die today and tomorrow, and I wouldn't feel it way. In terms, I don't care.
I agree with you.
You can leave that.
Wait,
I feel that 100% in myself.
Leave it in.
You'll get a half a burp.
Leave it in.
That's
pause.
I really feel
because I agree with you.
Because if you telling to kill a
10,000%.
teenager, shorty, like I got no sympathy for you, and I hope you looking up to us and not down on us. So that's my thought. But that being said,
that's a bar. That's a fucking bar.
But that being said, as far as Trump goes, I do think that it's unfortunate what happened to him in terms of the shooting, but I also recognize how this country goes, and history shows us that when we get this divisive and when it gets this heated, this is always the outcome that we get. Like, it's never like, whether it's slavery, whether it's civil rights stuff, like, anytime we get to a point when we get that heated, somebody catches a body or tries to catch a body. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, ultimately, people, and it really kind of, in my opinion, falls on the politicians because they'll preach, togetherness and unity, but then you'll pass policies that say otherwise.
Yep.
And it's like, look, there are people, and I see people all the time, whether it's at work or people I just talk to, like at the grocery store that are older, and they'll tell you they feel like it's back in those times, and they're trying to move us back to those times.
Right.
So my thing is, it's like, look, man, like, we see what y'all doing. To your point that Vilas was saying earlier, like, man, we see y'all giving immunity. We see y'all passing all these policies. Y'all showing us that y'all not protecting us.
Right.
So when people feel like they're not protected, they're going to try to protect themselves, whether that's rational or irrational. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like,
I agree with that. I just think that we want to be careful to try to draw correlations between two things that haven't been proven to have a correlation.
That's true.
and you're right. And again, like, I'm not even speaking in terms of that shooter. I'm just talking about in things that can happen going down the road.
Fair. That's
like,
true. That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to realize if you're in politics or if you deal with government issues, you have to know that, like, look, people are only going to take so much, and nobody is going to sit back and just willingly give up freedom or give up their livelihood just because you want to. You know what I'm saying? Or because you feel like it benefits you. And we've had conversations time after time again about inflation and how people are feeling with criminal justice reform and how people can't put food on the table, and everybody, the country, or half the country at least, feels like you're playing in our faces. So the thing about it is, again, nobody's condoning that, but just in history, it shows, it's like Dave Chappelle said, we have freedom of speech, we had the First Amendment of free speech, but the Second Amendment is in case the first one don't work out.
Oh,
So, like,
I never heard that.
yeah, he said that on stand-up. So I'm like, I mean, that's kind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, y'all, man, nobody, regular citizens included, me included, nobody wants to see violence. But nobody's going to watch their livelihood get taken away bit by bit and just sit by and just take it. Not saying that's what that shooter did, because nobody knows. But I'm just saying, even going forward, just understand that's going to be the tempo of the country. Nobody's going to watch you keep putting, like, baggage on them and baggage on them. Meanwhile, I see you living in your private jet, and I'm getting layoff on top of layoff. You know what I'm saying? Like, people ain't sitting for that. So, end of the day, I think the overall takeaway is, look, and I think I just saw something recently this morning. They saying Trump did a call for unity, and I'm like, if y'all really mean that, then show us in the policies. I don't care about what speech you do. I don't care about what song and dance you do. If you really feel that way and you really want unity, then show us in the policies and do what's best for everybody.
So well, I was just gonna say, don't you think this? So when what's his face? When Bush got elected through the Electoral College, right?
Bush.
We need to get
one
rid of
or
that
two?
too, by the way.
Two.
This-
So, like-
the first time or the second time?
Right.
Well, the first time they just flat. They
Thank
just
you
said,
for it.
well, the first time was they said at the
The
electoral
referees
college.
went to the review booth and was like, the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
But
And
the first,
you got a slow mo tape like that's not what happened.
but it's too late because they already won. So
Yeah,
it's like,
facts.
but like, so they say that the first. We'll go with the first time. That was against Al Gore, right?
Yeah. The
So,
inventor
like-
of the internet.
Yeah, but he won the popular vote, but lost electoral college. Whatever.
Not the first time, yeah.
Right. So I think it. So with that,
Word to
first,
50 billion cent.
so with that first thing that happened, you could theorize that they pushed him to get into office because of everything. They kept him in there because of the Iraq War, because you don't change presidencies during a war. So like the first time you could say that they put him in there to push, a lot of agendas and stuff like that, right? So then he served the 2 terms and now was done. You could theorize that with the first term of Trump because he won the electoral college, right? So you see a pattern there, right?
He lost popular vote.
Right. So then a lot of policies that were totally insane went through, right? But then, in my theory, once you found out what a rabid dog he was and what just an idiot he was, those who were for him were instrumental, in my opinion, to get him out, right? So then once Biden gets in, they see that he's not, obviously he's not going to push a lot of their stuff, but like Vinny always said, he felt as though he was a soft politician, he was a soft president. So a lot of those constituents of the Republican Party can be a lot more aggressive with a lot more things. So with that, so now that it's gotten to that peak, now it's time to start bringing Trump back in my opinion, right? So with that said, we can theorize all day what the electoral college vote of those terms were, right? But now we're seeing it because that president is coming back in. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like all these things are changing up. Oh, there's an insurrection. Well, he gets immunity because he did it for the sake of the country, under the presidency, right? That's what they're told. Right?
Side note to that, I do agree with Charlamagne when he said that the Supreme Court is essentially a failed.
100%.
Yeah,
Is a failed what?
What is it? A failed organization or whatever?
Call it what you want. They corrupt. They they the worst of the worst, bro. Like it's. You know what's worse? You know what's like? It's like
actually going with my point.
And it's
when he got in,
them,
all those Supreme Court justices that y'all hate is in there because he elected them.
I'm supremely disappointed in John Roberts, because John Roberts for years since he was nominated to the court by Bush would almost at this point it feels like pretend as if he always cared about the rule of law more than his ideology. And consistently, since this court has been constructed the way it's been constructed, all he's done is, by and large, go with the conservative. Even if he knew that their legal theory was dubious.
Yeah.
And I'm being nice right now. I don't know why I'm being nice. Even if they knew their legal theory was bullshit, like with Dobbs that killed Roe and stuff like that. But that's an aside. I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. Go ahead.
Can I just say this one thing real quick?
No, you good.
What kills me about it is and at least for me, in my opinion, when the Supreme Court showed him corrupt, that was the last fail-safe.
Right.
Because it's like, when stuff gets there, you like, all right, yeah, you can be Republican or right-leaning, but you ain't gonna let this slide. Now I see that you want to let that slide. It's like, there are no safeguards, bro. It's like there is nothing that people feel that's gonna keep you secure. So it's like, once people feel like that, then people start to go in self-preservation mode, and then that's when you really don't have a country because everybody's gonna be in it for themselves.
So that's what I'm saying. Like we never had a president that was out, right, and then came back in.
Yeah, you've had that. It happened once.
So I'm sorry. What I mean is, with the Electoral College, with the theory of this president got in because we want these policies pulled through. I don't know if y'all caught up on The Boys or whatever, but The Boys essentially. Well, you've seen the first.
I've been holding it till they get through the season.
So but you've seen most of it.
I'm caught up until the current season that's airing now.
So it's really weird how parallel it is. Like, do you see how Vought changes a lot of stuff? How scary is that?
There was a post that someone said it was like, "This some shit Vought will pull in order to get people to like Homelander again."
Right.
Yes.
That's exactly. That's point well taken.
So this is a great segue into, and this is only Vinny saying this, labeling it this weird shit I saw on the internet when there was an attempted assassination of a former president.
Yeah.
Immediately, I mean, within minutes of the story breaking, I saw a near unanimous assessment that this was fake. Oh, Vince McMahon. This is Vince McMahon at work, joking about it, like stuff like that. And my immediate reaction is, "Wow, that's weird." And then I sat and thought about it for a second.
But it makes sense if that was the case. Not saying it is, but if it did, it would make sense.
My thought when I thought about it was, maybe we're so like desensitized because of social media to how things can be staged on social media that we knee-jerk presume that anything sensational must be necessarily staged because how could this be real? But I know, Mr. Brown, you share some concerns.
Can I just say, I'm sorry. I was going to say one thing with that. Like, here's the thing I've learned about the government, right? Up until the FBI released those files about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, I'd be like, no, the government wouldn't do this, and the government wouldn't do that. But come to find out, they absolutely would. But they've done stuff like this before. So it's not like it's out of their character to do it. You know what I'm saying? Again, not saying they did this, but my point being is just that, they've done stuff like this before.
Right, now we know that's a possibility.
But I do think that surveilling civil rights leaders or even staging the actual assassination of Malcolm X, of another prominent civil rights leader, is materially different from staging the quote-unquote supposed fake attempted assassination of a former president running for office to be the next president.
Unless you use that to make him a martyr.
Hold on. So I'm not saying. Hold on. So hit me up. I'm not saying so. That. Being fake and being staged to me are two different things, right?
That's true.
Like, you can actually be shot. Yeah, I mean, but it's like planted. This is how this.
Yeah, you don't hit a vital spot.
So like my thing then is like with Malcolm X, that was the thing. Like this is not even me. This is the officer that was there that was supposed to be doing CPR. They had an interview with him, and he was talking about it. Yeah. And you literally see him in the picture, like hit. But he was like basically, the government was telling me what to do as far as this and that and how to react with it. But they were in on all of that. They were pulling the strings on who was going to be there, how they going to be there, and how all of this stuff was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So point being is that he didn't, like, the officer himself didn't even know that. He was like, they just basically just told me what I needed to know. So then when it was here, it was just like.
So first of all,
wait, what was Mr. Brown? What were you going to say?
I lost my train of thought. No, so I guess we're talking about like the conspiracy theory stuff, right? Which I've generally I've generally been a person who tries to shy away from that stuff. Typically, I mean, I acknowledge it, and I think like, okay, well, yeah, this could. I won't like totally rule it out. I'll say. So I'm like, okay, this could maybe this. I generally don't believe it, but I'm not going to rule out the total possibility. But I don't know, ever this whole thing, like, ever since I started, now again, this is Hollywood, so it's not real. But, when I used to watch shows like Scandal, and a couple other, like, shows that are about politics in particular. And, you would see, like, this kind of stuff in terms of, like, there's, like, to get a desired reaction out of the general public, you would have certain things staged in a certain way, and I in the past, like, I would, I wouldn't really think that's the case, and I'm still not there yet, but I just don't totally rule that out now. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, I don't think we'll ever really know, like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, but obviously, like you were saying, like, some people think this was like this is definitely going to give him the boost he needs to get to the polls and then get the desired result. You know what I'm saying? So that's the cynical thought of me. Like even not even saying stage, right? But like even if taking that part out of it. This gives him some sympathy for some people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this could potentially be what, decides what's going. This could be this will definitely. I'll say this. This is definitely going to have an impact on whatever's to come in November.
So I'll say this. I don't know if y'all want to segue into the reactions of how you think this will impact things going forward, but that's a great segue into that. Because I've already heard a lot of people talking about the sympathy. I've even seen in various group chats I'm in. I know some people was essentially Dems offering condolences, and to the point where Biden's campaign team are we're actively working to pull down political ads and stuff like that is insane. But it adds to the. But I think there's a way to say and I'm not a Democrat, but there's a way to say. Right. Dirt on it. But no, I think there's a way to say condolences and this is not the level we should take this to, while also saying okay,
don't forget about
I have an election to win. Right. The business still has to be handled. They basically it seems like they're aiding and making him a martyr. But I'll take any substantiated or unsubstantiated theories that anyone at the table might have as to how things will play out moving forward going into November.
I'll say this. Well, I got just two quick things, right? The first thing I will say this. I am not a Trump supporter by any stretch of imagination. I cannot stand this man. I dislike this man with every bone in my being.
I thought I saw a MAGA hat in your truck though.
Yeah, all right.
No, that was one of those hot toy hats. They look the same.
I need to wear my glasses.
They look the same.
But no, everybody that knows me knows I can't stand that man.
I wouldn't even call him a man at this point.
I agree.
Like when Mr. Brown was saying, I feel bad for him. This guy is not even. He's a piece of garbage. I do. I think he's a piece of garbage. So
I will say
he's
this,
not
though.
even being to me.
No, I feel you, and I do, and I share those sentiments, right? However, objectively, him getting shot and getting up and raising his hand afterwards, that was some gangster shit.
Yo, that picture's so fire.
I hate them.
That picture's fire, bro.
I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, no. I was like, that shit was tough as fuck. I can't even lie to you.
So you know what? You
can see the ads coming in September.
Yeah,
there's gonna be no sound. They're just gonna put a picture on the left of Joe Biden listening to a question at the debate, and a picture on the right of Trump holding the Black Power fist.
So you're telling me.
I was like,
okay.
So that was like, damn.
That shit was fire, yo. I thought it was just me.
Now, great.
You're all insane.
It's like watching a fight and you seeing your guys and kid with a mean ass thing. It's like, damn.
Right. I don't fuck with him, but
it's like, exactly. It's like,
so if you get shot at, the first thing you want to think about is throwing up a fist.
No. So here's the thing. They released the sound from that was on stage.
Right.
So you know how they were covering him. The Secret Service was covering him for a while. They didn't raise up until after they got confirmation that the shooter was down. So him raising the fist up was low hanging fruit because it's not like he can't hear them talking. Yeah. Everyone already knew that the shooter was down.
And you can hear him like, man, let me get my shoes. I'm like, yo, and you hear this shit. It's like,
he was like, no, let me get my shoes first.
Let me get my
I need my 12.
Yeah,
I need my 12s.
And I can't. And again, I cannot stress this enough. I am not a Trump supporter. I do not like this man.
You're being swayed.
What?
You're being swayed.
What? Yo, he did not seem shook at all, bro. Like, he did not seem shook at all. And I was like, yo, let me get my. I'm like, damn. I'm like,
and so to the conversation.
Oh my God.
What might happen going forward?
Yeah.
I think that is okay. The juxtaposition between the perception of Joe Biden and his mental acuity versus Trump was despite them only being 3 years apart, was already pretty wide. But now I'm only talking about perception. We're not talking about policy or nothing like that right now. But now the perception of Joe Biden and his mental acuity versus Trump.
You can't say he only got shot. He took a bullet and he got up.
You know what I'm saying?
He took a whole bullet. You can't really take a whole bullet and he old and he saw.
And here's the part where I trigger Flash a little bit. this is why I say that what Democrats did is, if there was a version of malpractice, political malpractice, it's tantamount to that. Here's why. Y'all have for years, not you. I know I'm looking at you.
No, I feel you.
Y'all have for years been telling people that what you can see and hear as it relates to Joe Biden is wrong, and how dare you, and talking your shit as if your vote is owed to this man. Not to preserve democracy, not to the Democratic Party, not because of these policies or these accomplishments, but to him. And like the coddling and overhyping of him has been almost offensive. And so now you get to this point where he has the really, really, really bad debate performance, and such that now it's easy for everyone to begin questioning, oh, maybe he should drop out, all of this, that, and the third. Keep in mind, you've had years to see this and make these decisions and have these discussions, but now you're down to months. And now it's okay, it's cool for everybody, George Clooney, everybody, to come out and say, yeah, what y'all saw on the debate stage, we saw that at the what's the name, the fundraising event that I put together. What you saw on the debate stage, oh yeah, that's what we saw at the White House this time. Like, people are now it's easy for them to go on record. And here's the thing, he's been dragging. He went out and did that press conference, which was mid, and we can't even talk about it now, but because there's not enough time because of what's going on. But now you have this point where, like, maybe whether he was going to drop out or not, he took so long that it literally probably does not matter. And the reason why is because you presume that something like this would not happen, and that you had control that you actually do not have. And so now, if he runs the gamut, and I have to, if he runs the gamut and goes to November, now presuming things stay where they are, like, you have to go against somebody that has all the sympathy in the world and all the momentum in the world at a time when people were very unexcited about you. Or if he drops out, now you have to have someone go from 0 to 1 billion real quick, and if it's not Kamala, that includes fundraising, setting up infrastructure and all of that stuff, against someone that has all the momentum in the world, all the sympathy in the world. That is, that's why I've been saying, if the fate of the country and democracy is on the line, people sure have not been acting like it, because I don't know, and maybe things will change, I don't know how you counter it. The only silver lining I see is a fact that I heard earlier today, or we'll say a stat I heard earlier today, which was in the months after, in the weeks after Ronald Reagan's assassination attempt, he jumped 20 points in the polls. But by the time you got to election day, that jump basically all but waned. So maybe he gets lucky, but I just think it's irresponsible.
So, and man, look, we've been on the group chats, and we had multiple conversations on and off the podcast. You know how I feel about this. When it comes to policies, my biggest issue is that we vote off of showmanship versus what we actually want. My thing is, I get all that, like, as far as Joe Biden's showmanship and all that other stuff, cool, but what's being done on the policies? My issue with black people especially, I mean people as a whole, but especially black people, is that we get up here, we bitch and complain about all of the stuff that we want, and then when we got somebody that's doing stuff for us, or at least seems like they're trying to get stuff done for us, we go for the show versus the actual product. So then we're just sitting back and we're like, oh yeah, Joe, he's old, he can't talk, but I'm like, but he's showing at least that he's trying to do stuff in your interest and hold you accountable.
Right.
And then we'll turn back around, and because we're so concerned with the show and how things present, we screw ourselves over. But then we'll work backwards once we elect the wrong person, and then we'll do all the marches in the world. We'll do all the protests in the world. We'll do all the little press conferences in the world. When the time to really vote our interest comes up, we really don't do it. And as far as, like, the politics, as far as, like, yeah, well, Trump got shot and all of this stuff, and I get it, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to the policies. So my thing is, we can sit back and argue the optics all day, but the reality of it is, what do you want for your kids? What do you want for your family? What do you want for the country as a whole? So if we are willing to sit back and say, oh, Trump got shot, so now I'm going to get up and vote for that, then that's cool. But my only issue is, if we do that, then we can't complain later like we didn't elect for this.
But that assumes that no one that everyone voted. No one that voted for Trump voted for Trump because they agree with the policies and things.
And that's cool. But then when but if you do that and then you get those results, then I don't want to hear nothing afterwards because that's what you voted for.
But what if someone voted for Biden and then they get the results that they weren't looking for? Like, do they get to complain?
Yes, but hold on a second.
Absolutely.
But hold on a second. I don't think.
Well, I got a complaint, goddamn.
No, I just say I don't think people know what they want. I think people got bored with the lack of showmanship. I'm talking about like Democrats. Mm-hmm. They got bored with the lack of showmanship. The fact that you can't go on a late night show and hear 20 billion jokes about your president. You know what I'm saying? So, and as far as policies, I don't think people know what they want. And
that's cool, but don't protest and march for it if that's what you want. Don't come to me talking about we want police brutality in. Because like here's my thing, right? I'll use black people as a prime example. Right? Mm-hmm. Prime example. Back when Brittany Griner got locked up, right?
Yeah.
All the black people in the world were like, oh, this is racism. Why you won't get her out? Not knowing nothing how government works.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they sitting back like, get Brittany out. If you're not racist, get Brittany out. Biden like, all right, you know what? Cool. We'll get her out. We'll find a way to get her out. So then he gets Brittany Griner out. Also, he has to release a war criminal. Well, why'd you do that? So you thought I was going to get Brittany for free? But again, and now we were on election time. Everybody forgot about that. Never mind the fact y'all campaigned on that for like 4 months to get her out. But now he did that. Everybody got amnesia. So my point being
is his communication.
Hold on, but it don't matter. I did it for you, so I don't care. So here's my thing. Like I said before, at the end of the day, when it comes to voting, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm a president, right? If you're not voting for me, I don't care about how you feel. I don't care about what you think. Or I don't care about what you want done. Because if you're not willing to go out there and support me and vote for me, I'm losing my job anyway. So why do I need to care about anything you got to say?
So, and I don't
if you're not going to show up.
Run me my taxes back then, yo. If that's how you feel,
no.
Just fuck you if I don't vote for you. You're not going to do that for me. Give me my money back.
You're right, but guess what? Refund. But guess what? Even if I lose, you still pay them taxes. Surely, whether I want to lose, you still pay them taxes. But you're not getting them back.
But if I already said to your people, yo, I don't really.
In fact, you probably gonna pay more taxes.
Hold on, here's the thing though. But you know, regardless, whether I want to lose, them taxes ain't coming back. So that's what I'm saying. As a tax-paying citizen, you might as well have a say in what goes on in your country. So hold on. So it's all well and good. Hold on. I'm just saying. You can say, all right, run me my taxes back. But in reality, we both know that's not happening. So you have the option of sitting back and having a say in what goes on, or you take what they give you. So if you want to take what they give you, then that's fine. But then you can't sit back and then complain later like, oh, why are they doing this? Shorty, what did you do to stop it?
I do got to say, I think it's extremely weird that Trump supporters are all in on him. Like no complaints about anything he's.
Can I say? Oh, sorry. I lost this point. I want to say this one last point. Now shut up for the rest of the time.
No, you good.
That was the whole point I was going to say.
Right.
And that's why I do feel like Democrats live up to their title with snowflakes because
it's a funny term.
Yeah. No, for real. I mean, it does. But we lived up to that term because anything goes wrong with our candidate, we drop him. And we're like,
my gosh, I agree with you.
Yo, like
300%.
One bad debate. Oh, Biden shouldn't run.
No.
Hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out. One bad debate. Oh, how many bad debates you want to say? They're sitting back like, oh my gosh, maybe you shouldn't run. Never mind the fact that we put all this into you going into the presidency. When Trump got locked up, when he was going to court, they showed up to court with that man, dressed up like him. Right. Like, yo, we got your back. Do every 30-something felonies, they were in court with that man. So it's like, yo, Democrats need to have some resolve when it comes to your candidate because there's nothing in the world that explains to me why Republicans can support their president through felonies and you can't support your president through misspeaking.
So you do see that you proved the point of people that want him to step aside, right?
What you mean?
What's that?
So the evidence that you're pointing to about Trump suggests that his base is excited about him. Mm-hmm. His base feels confident in his ability to execute the job that they want him to execute. Mm-hmm. Everything you said about Biden shows that that his supporters are not confident in him.
No, what I'm saying
is not confident in his ability to execute the job, which is why for the last few years people have been saying, "Yo, hear me out with this."
No, hear me out. Anytime any Democrat, not even Biden, any Democrat has any type of flaw to their name, they drop them. There's not even just it's not like I'm sitting back and
I think the expectation. I think I'll just say this real quick.
The expectation is weird.
I've always felt this way. Like it's low expectations on Republicans and higher expectations on Democrats. Now, part of that is in fault. The part of that is because I feel. I'm not gonna say it's easier, but I feel like. Well, I'll say a little bit. I think Republicans can They can literally run on single issues, and that's enough for that base typically. Whereas the Democratic Party is typically trying to be like almost inclusive of everyone to a degree, and you're never gonna be able to make everybody happy. So that's where that's where the shit the shit where it can get fucked up at.
But is that not the coalition that they formed?
Hold on, hit me out.
I mean, in theory, that should be the coalition they have, right?
It should be, but if that's the coalition that you formed, in asking for the role, it's your responsibility to execute. And if you fail to execute, there's no sin in people saying you failed to execute.
No. Here's the thing. It's not about the execution, and that's not the argument. The argument is about the presentation. It's not about the execution. Everything
is about the execution.
Hold on. Everything about Joe Biden right now that they're fussing about isn't about the shit that he's done.
Because the presentation is so bad, you can't even get to the merits.
That's what I just said. That's literally what I just said.
This isn't what you
just said.
That's
the presentation. That literally says about
Here's what I'm saying.
That's literally what I just said.
Hear what I'm saying. The presentation is so bad that you can't even get to the merits of how the shit that he's done has fallen short.
The motherfucker point is about presentation, not execution.
President Biden.
It's about his presentation. So you're not telling President Biden. It's about how he looks, how things come off. It's not the same as stuff he's
President Biden
Biden
at the end of that NATO summit did a press conference where he talked about how he said his policies would not cause inflation and reduce and additional debt. And guess what happened? It in fact did cause inflation and additional debt. Is there other components to that? Yes, but
economists right now say that he did a better job with the economy than Trump.
Yeah, which ones?
Oh, we can name them. You want me to put them out to you?
Which ones?
You want to go to the phones? We can go
because you can talk about that.
We go.
But the thing is, the average people don't see that stuff. Well, I think
you know why they don't see that stuff? Because
part of it's willful ignorance.
It's not.
I think for some folks.
Here's the thing. The easiest thing as the current non-incumbent that Trump can do is say, "Yo, fam, look at how your life was in 2019." And look at how your life is in 2024.
Because of what? Because of what? What happened in 2020? What happened in 2020? I'm
gonna get to that.
So that's my point. You trying to make it seem like this Biden we had a whole pandemic. Not to mention other countries also have recessions going through their time. No, don't do that. Bro.
Here's the thing.
It's not a whole Biden thing. Don't.
It's not. But it's not.
The easiest thing that Trump can do is, which they've been the argument they've been making is, look at your life in 2019, look at your life in 2024, and ask yourself, in which scenario were you in a better place economically? Now here's the thing. There was a once in a century pandemic that occurred in 2020, right? Biden came into office in 2021 in the throes of said pandemic. Mm-hmm. Here's the key thing though. When you hear the Biden campaign hitting at Trump, what do they hit at? They say President Trump, they hit several things. They say President Trump borrowed more money than any president in modern history. That's true.
Hold on, I give you one back.
But over 50% of what he borrowed was in 2020 alone due to COVID-related things.
Cap, and I'm going to tell you why it's cap.
That's cap?
No. I'm saying it's cap because you left a key part of that out. Because a good chunk of that money came to what? Went to what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What was he campaigning on? That he was supposed to make, that Mexico was supposed to pay for?
You talking about that build the wall shit?
No, that border wall? Yeah, what happened with that?
The wall didn't happen, but
no,
show me where the borrowing.
It did.
And see now you got me
like
MAGA Matthew. I don't even support Trump.
Let me say this. So what was supposed to happen when he ran on was that Mexico was going to pay to build this wall. Mexico said, "Fuck you, I'm not paying for that." So then what happened is he did an executive order which he stole money to build the said wall that came out of taxpayer money. But somehow everybody wants to overlook that.
No one's overlooking that. But what does that have to do with the debt?
Because what does that do? Because that was $250 million he used spending on that border wall. So
billion, nigga, I'm talking about T's.
Oh, I hear you.
What are you talking?
It don't matter. Here's the thing about
it. It does matter because the total debt, the total debt incurred under Trump was $8 billion. It was $8 trillion.
Hold on, but you're trying to compare. You're trying to compare what Biden did for COVID relief and everything else that actually went to people.
I hadn't even hold on.
I'm just saying. The stuff that Biden did went to actually help people. We spent billions on a border wall that never came to fruition.
You're conflating two things that aren't related.
How am I conflating two things that aren't related?
Can I have the floor?
Go ahead.
So, Trump, and we're gonna wrap this shit up.
You gotta say walk with me. What happened to that?
Oh yeah. Walk with me.
I like that.
So Trump borrowed an additional $8 trillion against the national debt, which is in fact some of the highest debt incurred during the presidency in modern history, right? Especially compared to Biden's $4-ish or so trillion, which is one of the lowest, I believe, in modern history. Here's the thing: how much did Trump borrow against the national debt going into March of 2020? Anyone? Approximately $4 trillion, roughly the same as Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. You say Joe Biden did things to give money to give COVID relief to help people. Well, did the first stimmy come under his term or under Trump's term? And then here's the thing: those stimmies were a double-edged sword, because when you have a cash infusion into an economy that has a supply chain issue, what happens? Demand goes up. What goes up when demand goes up? Prices go up.
Right.
So yes, it was cool that people could choose to had the money in order to choose to either pay their rent or go to fly to Cabo with masks on. But the reality of the matter is there were tons and tons of execution issues under those stimulus plans that happened under both Biden and Trump. The PPP loans was a Biden thing, right? That wasn't Trump.
That was a yeah.
No, that was if I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to be started under Trump, but they got implemented under Biden.
PPP.
That's what I'm looking up now.
Okay, so PPP, and here's the thing. This is where we get into this. My thing about the COVID stuff, I say the fair way to go about the COVID stuff, if you're trying to vet these two, because I can't believe we're having a serious conversation about which one of these motherfuckers is going to be president. But if we're going to have a fair conversation, then the COVID shit, you have to give a mulligan to. Because you can't, as Joe Biden or as his campaign, say, under Trump, we had record unemployment, while simultaneously saying, under me, we had unemployment fell the fastest ever, when you know the fucking reason why that happened. It happened because of COVID. Who was president when COVID first sparked off? Donald Trump. Who was president when COVID was starting to cool off? Joe Biden. Well, if motherfuckers have to go inside, what happens? They get laid off. If motherfuckers are able to go outside, guess what happens? They can work. That seems pretty simple. It didn't matter who was in office either time. If you flipped it and Joe Biden was in office going into 2020, he would have been the one that incurred record borrowing and record unemployment. But instead, it wasn't him, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is if you really want to have an honest and thoughtful debate about who, like on the merits economically, just call the COVID shit a mulligan. It just is what it is, because no one was going to do a better job. Whoever was president at the beginning was going to fuck it up, and whoever was president currently coming into it in the throes of it in 2020 their policies were going to be vetted out how they were going to be vetted out, and any decision to infuse cash into an economy where there's a supply chain issue was always going to create sustained and long-term inflation, which is what the fuck we have today. Because there's people that make 50% more than they did in 2019 and currently live paycheck to paycheck when they didn't in 2019.
Yeah, you got inflation, some other good stuff, but I hate you.
No, you can't just write that off.
No, I hate you.
And last point, and I'm gonna shut the fuck up. You can have the rest of this. And motherfuckers is talking about, inflation is going down. Bitch, no, it's not. The rate at which things are increasing is going down, not inflation. You don't have deflation currently. Prices aren't going down on average. prices are just rising less quickly on average. There's a difference, and that's why when people be like, oh, there's record low unemployment, I don't understand why the people are mad. That's why they're mad. The people are mad because if I can barely afford it, people are at the point where they like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put this trip to Cabo on the credit card and because it is what it is. I can't afford it. I can't afford to buy a house because the housing prices have doubled and the interest rates has gone up 2.5 times. Mm-hmm. And the Fed is still trying to fight back against lowering the rates. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck wouldn't I be pissed? When Joe Biden came into office, he said, yeah, I'm gonna do something about student loans. They took a bad strategy. And what happened? It got struck down by the Supreme Court. Oh, the big bad Republicans did it, right? But did they do it or was it an execution issue? I yield my time back because you can't have a thoughtful conversation if you want to say COVID is all one president's fault, but the recovery from COVID is all credited to this one benevolent president who's apparently the best president we've had since LBJ. Confusing.
Well, I wouldn't say that. But
that's what they would say.
Hold on. All right, so hold on.
So
hold on. Let me say this real quick, right? Because I'm not going to name names, but I had a conversation with somebody about less than a year ago, and they were talking about, oh yeah, well we're headed to a great recession, we're headed to a great depression, and Bidenomics going to ruin us, and Bidenomics this, and Bidenomics that, and essentially what was understood was they're going to raise inflation and try to prevent all that. Now, I hear what Vinny's saying, but by most stretches of the people that study money are saying, look, compared to where we were at, we're good right now. Yes, it's not where we want to be, but essentially compared to where we were headed to, Biden curved that. So, yeah, you can say, oh, I don't feel how it is now, and I get feelings and everything, and I get, inflation is a thing, but compared to where we were headed to, we had to stop that. Now, that being said, in terms of actual COVID situations, I was there. One thing I will tell you with Trump that I personally have an issue with was leaving medical equipment there, leaving vaccinations there, and the rhetoric that he put out with vaccinations. I can tell you, there were people that was talking all day about, oh yeah, it's a hoax, it's the flu, it's this, it's that. You know where they were at? On a ventilator. Mm-hmm. And I can also tell you, before it multiplied into different strains, exclusively, hand to the man, probably, I'll guess I may say 80% of the people that were there weren't vaccinated. Trump tell you don't need to get vaccinated. And everybody exclusively that were Trump heads were like, yo, you need to get vaccinated. Meanwhile, people are legit dying. Right. Let me tell you how I know they dying, because I'm working on them. So it's like, so my point being is that it's with Trump, it's not about all his direct stuff. It's all about his, what they call the soft power, the influence, and everything he has that goes around it. And my thing is, he has a really good way about shuffling off responsibility when things hit him,
right?
Versus, and then taking credit for things go up. The reality of it is, when they came to initially, he's like, we have vaccines. We got to try it. Here it is. Let's go ahead and go. He was like, I'll give you about a quarter.
And the irony, what was the operation called? It was called like Light Force or something like that.
Like say,
like what irony is that?
Yeah. So hold on.
Point of information, that is a red herring.
Hold on, no, it's not. It's not. But
you're comparing COVID response to economics.
I'm not. I just said I'm going to talk about the difference between what Fox with and me and why I'm feeling they have the issue with it. So in terms of economic thing, that's one thing. But what you want to spend when you dead?
But if there's no counter to that,
hold on. But my point being is that it is what it is what's getting people killed. You can sit back and say, oh, the economy. But when you're dying, that economy don't mean nothing. You can have 6 figures, but guess what? If you want a ventilator, that's 6 figures. It don't matter. Do it.
I will say one of the morals.
So no. I want you to use your time, right? All right. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, ventilators he didn't order. Masks initially he didn't order. Vaccines you don't need it. Them same Trump supporters are sitting back, coming up on ventilators, can't breathe, and not for nothing. I'm not going to say names because for refugees fake, but there were a lot of public safety places that couldn't barely run because people were so out for so long with COVID because they were sick. And now they can't run. So much so that you had nurses coming to hospitals with COVID, getting people sick, killing them. Mm-hmm. You had people that had nursing homes coming to the nursing homes with COVID, killing them. Because your president at the time talking about, oh, it's just the flu. Oh, no, you don't need that. It's all good. And my thing is, again, he does what he always does. Same thing he does January 6th. He'll stir the pot, and then he'll sit back and be like, oh, yeah, well, I just said this. Well, that really wasn't me. It was that. So my point being with all of that stuff is, it's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying as far as the economy stuff, but it was the reason they did what they did. And my thing is, you had to shut the country down because the reality of it is, I can tell you firsthand, people were legit dying.
Yeah.
Firsthand. And what a Republican will tell you is that, oh, yeah, they had COVID, but they also had COPD. They also were obese. They always had asthma. I'm like, they had that half their life. Why do you think they dying right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So my point being is that, yes, your president, not your president,
yeah.
but the president they rock with got a lot of people killed. A lot of people killed.
But also, this is the same guy that telling people not to get vaccines, and as soon as he gets sick, not only do they have what's the emergency thing you take when you get COVID?
I know what you're talking about.
I can't get a name of it.
Paxil. You got Paxil. He was like one of the first people because as the president, they have it on reserve that if you get sick, we got this for you, whatever.
Oh,
and then go back out there and say he beat COVID of his own will. So that's what I think is that's my point with.
And you know what else got leaked out with that too?
Yeah.
Not even just the president, but some of your favorite Republican congresmen.
Right. They were taking the vaccine.
Exactly. And then go out there and talk about don't get vaccinated. But then when they ask you, well, what's your vaccine status? Oh, well, that's my choice and that's my privacy. Yeah, because you got vaccinated. Yeah. Meanwhile, you tell them no, them don't get vaccinated.
Right. So that's why I think. That's why I don't understand this whole thing where it like fiercely loyal to Trump, but like, and while you're right, we should hold our guy. We should hold responsible, absolutely.
But
I think that it's also with because everybody's making a good point.
Our guy was not killing people, and I'm like I said, I'm telling you. No, hold on. The reason I'm stopping this. Hold on. I'll say this. Flash, why do you say that? Because, again, like I said before, a lot of those Trump supporters did not wear masks. And I'm not saying that was perfect, but what I saw.
Neither did Gavin Newsom.
Hold on. What I'm saying is, these Trump supporters are like, their words, not mine. Trump said we don't need a mask. I trust them. I don't trust Fauci. They went into that whole rhetoric. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, they coming, spreading that to everybody else, getting patients sick, legit killing people. And so much so, and again, I've told you before because it got so bad where they were like, look, we know you got COVID, but we need people. So come to work. So that's why it went from 14 days to 4. And essentially what happened was, they were like, all of those mask mandates, because again, what really happened is, and I don't know if y'all heard about it or the general public heard about it, but what happened was a lot of these nurses, fire departments, police departments, they were like, again, a lot of them Trump supporters, was like, if y'all want to make us wear masks and get vaccinated, we're going to walk out and we're going to quit. They said, you know what? Fine, keep him. Which is why it's not a rule that you have to get vaccinated. If you go in the hospital now, whether COVID rises or falls, you'll see some nurses with masks, some without. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because they can't fire you if you don't wear one. Because they were following Trump. And when it comes down to getting that vaccinated, they will tell you that's what it was. And what made it worse is when you ask them to cite sources, that's what they would cite. So I'm asking you, why do you believe that? They're pulling up some Trump pulled article, and I'm like, but you a whole nurse. You a whole doctor.
Right.
So
you don't know better than that?
So what about the economics?
Hold on, we'll get to that, but again, my point with the economics is you can't spend nothing when you're dead, which is why they shut the country down. So I hear what you're saying in terms of, economics this, economics that. It's not though.
It is.
How?
So it's an obvious thing that one cannot spend money if they're dead. However, the topic of conversation had to do with the economy.
But one directly affects the other, so it's not a red herring.
It is.
Like legit, you shutting the country down. You shutting the country down affects the economy. So that's what I'm talking about with that. So
thank you.
Hold on.
Thank you. Right. What happened? Say that part again.
They had to
if you shut the country down, it does what?
Affects the economy.
Okay, so then why then? But you had to do that. Why is Joe Biden's campaign going out and saying that record unemployment occurred under Donald Trump? When you look at the unemployment metrics, the only time unemployment rose precipitously under Trump was during COVID.
So hold on. with that, and
God
again,
damn, I hate
hold
that I
on.
sound like a Trump supporter.
No,
I
hold
don't.
on.
It's
Hold
just I'm trying to like call.
Hold on. I want to say, hold on, and again, I'm gonna double check it because I haven't checked it recently. The last I heard, they were saying unemployment was better under Biden in terms of black unemployment.
So
hold on.
No, actually, point of information. Put your point of information. I'll shut up. Point of information. I'll shut up.
You keep saying it, but go ahead.
Black unemployment had already reached record lows under Trump. It just dipped a bit lower.
And where was it under Obama?
Under Joe Biden.
But where was it under Obama?
You talking about a different president?
I'm asking you. You just brought up Trump, so I'm asking you where was that under Obama? What trend was that started? Was it higher under Obama?
It was higher.
Okay, so it was higher. Right. So it was higher under Obama. It was higher under Trump, and that was higher under Biden. So is that just an upward trend?
No, it's lower. It was what it was under Obama during that economic recovery. Under Trump, it dipped down to record lows.
So it dipped down under Trump.
Under Trump, to record lows. COVID, unemployment stabilizes, and then at some point during Biden's term, it dipped down below the record lows that already occurred under Trump.
So you're saying it's lower now than it's been under that whole time? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I'm gonna look at it and check. I'm not gonna say I know.
So that's what they're saying. But unemployment is a shitty number anyway. That's a whole nother episode.
But that's why I wasn't trying to go to that. You want to go to that.
No, I'm talking about the economics.
But my whole
in general.
right. But that's what I'm saying. That's when you talk about the economics. My point being is that when you had Biden came in 2020 when it was already a mess up economy. That was my whole point with it. So that's when everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to a recession. We're gonna go Great Depression. We're gonna do this." We never got there. So, but hold on. So, regardless, I hear what you can make all this complaints about inflation. You can make all complaints about, oh yeah, well, bread is this. I get all that. Hold on. I'm just saying. But the fact of the matter is, the depression that Great Depression, that second Great Depression that we were supposed to go to, we never got there.
Well,
got diverted too often.
That happened between Bush and Obama.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
It did.
Because,
it was the second worst recession.
No, it's not because it's can't. Because we just had I had a conversation with somebody about that, and that shit was less than 6 months ago. It was about it's going to a Great Depression. Bidenomics is fucking it up. Bidenomics, not Bushonomics, not Obamanomics. It was Bidenomics is going to mess this thing up, and it's going to lead us to a Great Depression. And I was sitting back telling that person, no, we're not. It ain't going to get there, and we didn't get there. So now we can complain about inflation. But hold on, that Great Depression that we were supposed to go to, we never got there. So my point being with all of that is, when it comes to inflation and it comes to all this stuff, I'm not saying it's perfect. My point being is that where it was projected to go to, Biden got us away from that. So yes, we can make all the other stuff. I get.
What was it projected to go to?
Oh, last I heard it would be a whole second. Somebody sent me a whole article about it. And I'm not going to drop names. Somebody sent me a whole article about how we supposed to go to it. Hold on.
Around 9.2%. How much higher than 9.2%?
I'm just saying, all right. I'm just saying, somebody sent me their own article, and they can look at that shit. It's their own article about the shit, about how bad that shit was supposed to be.
That's
cool. I'm saying?
I'm just trying to understand, where was it supposed to go?
It was supposed to be on a Great Depression level. Last time we talked about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was supposed to be a whole Great Depression level.
So, you talking about, are you talking about unemployment, or are you talking
they were saying that
inflation?
In terms of the country, they were saying that the country as a whole was supposed to go to a Great Depression.
But in what context? The context matters.
Stock market crashing in terms of the record inflation that we were supposed to have, in terms of the housing market.
Okay, but we know why inflation. We know why the stock market didn't crash.
No, I'm just saying. No.
We know why that.
That's what I'm saying. This wasn't like this was 2020. This was 2024. We had these conversations. But it wasn't like it was sitting back, 2020, this was projected. No, this shit was like, I'll say it wasn't 2020, it was 2023.
But we know why the market hasn't crashed in 2024, right? We all, like, it's obvious.
What do you mean?
Like, the market hasn't crashed because the market isn't sensitive to the economic indicators that people on the ground, what do they call it, Main Street, is impacted by. So, like,
but that wasn't the narrative that was getting pushed in?
Right, because prior to that, when people were making those projections, NVIDIA was doing what NVIDIA did, but the AI boom hadn't happened. There's always a select few stocks that carry the rest of the market. And right now, that's NVIDIA, that's still Google, that's still Apple, and any companies involved.
So then, if that's the case, then why wasn't that narrative being pushed in?
Because it was an indicator it was an input that wasn't there at that time.
That's not what they were saying, though. That's my point. It wasn't. Hold on. Here's my point, though. It wasn't on some. Well, this might happen, or this is unlikely to happen. They were like, this is what's projected to happen.
But I still don't understand what you mean. you said a few things here. You said that inflation was staved off under Biden.
No, right.
So inflation peaked in was approximately 2022 around 9.2%.
Right.
So how much higher was it? 9.3% that they were trying to stop, or was it 28% that they were trying to stop?
No.
That matters.
Right. I hear you. What I'm saying is the podcast that was sent to me. Yeah, the article that was sent to me that was projecting that stuff based off of financial experts didn't give numbers. They were saying the housing market was going to.
Whoa. What's going here with me? Wait a second. We're having a conversation about numbers, and the evidence that we're using to say that Biden staved off bad numbers didn't include numbers.
But go ahead. That's you.
I don't care. You can say I said this. But here's what I'm saying. We're having a conversation because I.
So hold on, but to my point.
Yeah.
Right? The article that was sent and it was article.
But no. Why you don't say names in your diss track? Why you don't say names in your diss track?
I want my Drake shit subliminals.
You've been sending subs the whole goddamn podcast. Just say the name.
But I'm just saying.
Two diss albums, skim through them.
Yeah, I mean, skim to him. Nigga, skim to him.
I'm just saying that the article that was sent and they had the podcast under it was talking about Bidenomics was going to send in massive housing laws. It was going to rival the last Great Depression. It was talking about how our economy was going to tank, how it was going to be terrible with foreign currencies. It didn't give numbers, but it gave benchmarks. And what I'm saying is, we never got there. So my thing being is that, look, we can sit back and complain about stuff not being where we want it to be, and I get that. But what I'm saying is, that being the case, if that's what we're going off of, we can't sit back and say that he didn't do anything or that he didn't give us a whole curve from going around that. But even besides all of that, my main point being is that when it came down, when that pandemic came out, the first thing that everybody did was try to preserve life. So regardless of, yes, we shut the country down, which is why they had to do stimulus checks and all of that stuff. But it's like, look, we need to preserve life, and this is what we're going to do. My issue with Trump was that when they tried to come up with ventilators, and this wasn't even just me. These are governors, mayors, all sitting back trying to campaign to get the same stuff. Trump was like, nah. Like, I'm not saying that he killed people directly, but you definitely led to some stuff that led to loss of life.
Sure. So I'll let you. We'll let you have the last point on that because given time. But what's the takeaway to this whole 50,000? What was it? 50 billion cent. You know, 50 Trump and all of this and the current election. All of the stuff we had to get out the way so we can have fun in the next episode.
Put your head between your legs and kiss your ass.
I'm moving to Canada.
Yeah.
Hey, 666.
I know a house we can go to.
You got the map for it?
You know, we fucked up like
It had these weird red icons over top of it. It's weird.
Drake would do some shit like that too. You be like, no, you're Flash, eh? Same aspect over there. I'd be like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, nah, that's my man. He good. He's coming cool.
You might know everybody but you. Matter of fact, you probably like Drake would do some petty shit like have me sit in the tent in the front yard and shit, and just like watch y'all in the house.
Yeah, and sit there and take. Bring you out a grilled cheese every 3 days.
3 days.
Damn, trying to kill me out this joint.
All right. Any other?
And listen, that's me advocating for you. Like, yo, let me take my man's.
Man, look, hey Trump, never mind. I was lying. My bad. I apologize. I'm gonna come over there. If I gotta sit in Drake's lawn, like, he sits back and like makes you pull like those OVO bottles at my tent when I'm trying to sleep.
Right. What would be worse for you, Flash? Like
that's a great question.
You have to live in the OVO tent on the front.
No, the embassy. The embassy. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah. You gotta live there, or you gotta live in Trump's America for a second term when he's a king. Which one's worse for you?
And you better pick the right answer too.
Is Jamaica open?
Nah. These are only 2 choices. Only 2 choices.
That was a Trump thing to do right there. You see that? You see that shit?
Nah, it's closed out. They built the fence around it.
They built the fence around Jamaica.
The wall. There's a wall.
I'm just go to OVO spot and just go to Revolution. Mini Revolutions. 5 mini Kendrick fans. And like mini Pusha T fans. Music all work together.
You heard it here first. Flash loves Drake so much he loved to camp in front of his house. Yeah, but all right, y'all.
Red dots.
If you made it this far, we appreciate you sitting through America, I guess. I don't know what the fuck to say about this. And again, by the time you hear this,
what can you really say?
I can say.
You know, like what can you really say? It's like once I forgot which one of y'all said it. Once the Supreme Court did that immunity thing, we lost. We as a people lost. No matter if you're a MAGA guy and you think this is a win for you, it's a loss win.
No, facts. I mean, because regardless, no president, Democrat or Republican, should have that type of thing.
No.
For sure.
I guess the takeaway for today's episode is you're fucked. Take shots.
No.
Yes.
Vote.
That too.
Also vote.
Everybody in the bar get tipsy.
You know what? I might be giving up my position on voting. Like I think you should have quality candidates, but I feel like no one else gives a fuck. So just vote. Vote for whoever.
Yes. Fucking vote.
Vote for who you want.
I mean, I made.
If you want to vote for Dan,
a lot of good points were made. My only thing was, I know we're wrapping up, but my only thing is I don't like, even with the lack of showmanship. If you don't agree that with who Biden is and stuff like that, these other niggas are for Trump. They don't give a fuck what he does.
They said they went to court with him.
That's
they sat through his.
That's that's the only very, very strange thing to me is like, so if you
y'all just proving why Biden should be dropping.
No, but see, I don't even totally disagree with you as far as like.
But they would never know anybody.
Should he have been, even if it's not his nature? Should you be a more fierce competitor? Absolutely, but like. This is who we have. This is who we have. Like,
but here's the thing: there's nobody that's.
You about to start?
Nah, I don't want to start another.
This is who we have. Oh, really? Why is this who we have? And then this is when I say
and and
we're here another 6 hours.
I didn't even agree with that.
No, you're not. You know it's going to start another.
No. So somebody give me a Democratic candidate right now that's going to win, that can sit back, take Biden's spot right now, today, and be guaranteed to win that presidency.
But see, that thing's already done now.
Where's he at right now?
That's my
exactly.
point. But that's already
done. Chance to answer.
But my point being is that there is no mystery ass candidate that we have. And that's my point. They keep trying to allude to these people.
No,
there's no.
There's a really promising candidate out of Illinois I've heard of that I think could definitely be Trump convincingly. I believe his name is Barack Obama. He's totally not termed out.
That's my point. Case in point. Hold on. Case in point. We got you created candidates that don't exist because the reality of it is nobody wants to face the reality that Biden is our best candidate. Right
well,
now.
if that's the reality, then shame on Democrats for not having a bench, and that means that the best possible candidate, according to the polls for the last year and a half, is not capable of beating Trump. But anyway,
I just think it's
the reality of it is that Biden's favorite word?
Because y'all acting like half the people that y'all would try to nominate didn't already catch L's in the primary against him. So my thing is the first primary.
The 2020 primary?
Trump, the 2020 primary.
All right, so this has been a great episode.
No. Because here's my thing about that.
Bore y'all.
And that's my point. Hold on. See, you're trying to do a vote.
You can vote for who you want.
We'll take it to the group chat. Vote or die, motherfuckers.
Hold on. No, we get the last one.
You can't even use that one anymore.
Why?
Because
Puffy said it.
Then that means you can't vote.
No, hold on. But I'm going to say
right. You can die.
Hold on. But I'm going to say this, and then y'all can do what y'all want to do. But the reality of it is... Cool.
Take a shot.
That's cool. But people need to recognize.
Drink my depression away.
Okay, cool. But all of that. But the reality of it is, people can sit back and try to talk as much trash as they want. But the reality of it is, there was no better candidate that can cross over as much as Biden. And the evidence of that is, anytime somebody talks shit and I ask them who that person is, it's always fucking crickets. It's always quiet because nobody wants to admit Biden's our best candidate. Y'all can talk shit about him being old, this, and the third, but the reality of it is, there's nobody you gonna put in that fucking spot right now that's gonna cross over to get enough votes. Everybody that you pretty much would mention already lost when we ran the first time. And then lost, lost, wouldn't even run the second time because they kind of already knew what it was. But that being said, if y'all got somebody, then we're all is. Otherwise, like they were talking about for your man John Stewart, I think said it best, either shut the fuck up or get on board. But stop getting in the way. If you're not going to rock with it, then cool. But if you ain't going to be productive about the shit and sit back and say, look, I got this candidate that's going to be the next person, you just getting in the fucking way. You just get the fuck out the way.
Point of information, John Stewart didn't say shut the fuck up or get out the way. He was saying that that's a weird way to run a campaign where your stance is shut the fuck up or get out the way.
You're right, and you got it right the first time.
But beer planners, again, if you made it this far, we love you and appreciate you.
You better have. We're entertaining.
If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and do all of the shit that people who whore themselves out on YouTube like us say do. Like and subscribe, comment, all of that.
And we're going to do video or something.
Something algorithm. If you're listening to us on audio only, we appreciate y'all as well. And until next time,
Peace.
peace.
We out.
Bye.
It's so bad.